Hello guys, welcome to the next lecture. So this lecture will be on X-linked recessive conditions and their genetics. So we will be trying to discuss about the recessive condition, okay? Remember, and it is X-linked. So let me start from the beginning. So we have 22 pair of chromosomes which are autosomal, and one pair is sex chromosome. It could be either XX if a female and XY if it is a male. Okay, an autosomal chromosome makes up the body. Okay, as the name indicates, body means bones, skeleton, organs, everything. Okay, and sex means it is specially related to the chromosome. Okay, so it may vary in male and female. Okay, so that's why it is called as X-linked recessive, and most of the diseases are from the X-linked, okay, from the X chromosome. Now let's start it. So I have made a mnemonic which is called as X-linked disease. Just call it X-liked disease, okay, liked. So X is basically a family, okay. So let me start by telling you a story. So suppose there is a family called X, okay. There is a house called as X. So in that house, Diana lives, and Phil is living there, and their baby girl is living. Okay, so all these people, which is a family, they don't like dominant people. Okay, they only like the ones who are recessive. Okay, they only like recessive people. So as the mnemonic is Diana for Duchenne muscular dystrophy, Phil for hemophilia A and B, okay, A and B both, and baby means Becker's muscular dystrophy, and G for G6PD. So all this family is a or X-linked recessive disorders. There, okay. So the last part of the mnemonic is they only like one dominant person who is fragile X. So this is an X-linked dominant disorder, fragile X. But we will not talk about this for now. You can check out the next lecture about it. So today we will only be talking about the X-linked recessive, which are these family. Okay, Diana, Phil, and baby girl. So Duchenne muscular dystrophy, hemophilia, Becker muscular dystrophy, and G6PD. I hope you memorize it. Okay, let's move forward. So there are basically two possibilities. Okay, now as I told you that X chromosomes could be sex chromosomes could be either XX or XY based on the gender. Okay, and they both have uh, these both sex differentiate the different syndromes as well. So okay, now why did I mention both of them are different? Because if there are two possible, if the mother X chromosome is affected, okay, or father X chromosome could also be affected, but both of them will give you different results. Okay, that's why it is important to identify which X chromosome is affected. Either it is from the father or is it from the mother. So if it is from the father, it will have different result. If it is from the mothers, it will have different results. Now let me give you an example. So X-linked recessive diseases most often occurs in males. Why? Okay, one more thing. Okay, let me explain it to you after this example. Okay, now if the mother is a carrier and the father is a normal, suppose we are talking about the XX. Okay, she is a mother, he is a mother, and let's take a father as well, XY. So now the father is normal, but the mother is having XX chromosome. So we are having these four possibilities like DMD or hemophilia or Becker's or G6PD. Okay, so suppose the mother is a carrier for suppose DMD. Okay, so suppose we are having a DMD problem, and I will denote the problem with dash. Now this carrier protein along with this X will form X and X. Okay. Now this X along with Y will form this combination, and this X along with X will form XX normal, and this X along with the father's Y will make up the X and Y. So now this XY is male, and which is completely normal. Okay, male, and it is completely normal. Now this one is a female, which is completely normal, female and normal, and this one is a male. Okay, but he will be defective. He will be defective, and this one is a female, which is a carrier, which is a carrier. Now, why she is a carrier and he is defective? Because she is having two X chromosome. One of the X chromosome is defective. You see, but suppose this one is defective, but all the defective genes in it will be recovered from this X chromosome. Why? Because this X is normal. So she won't be having the disease, or she might be having a little disease, but she will be symptomless. Okay, there will be asymptomatic rather. So, but in the case of the male, because he is only having one X chromosome, so this is all he has. Okay, so if this is the defective chromosome, he doesn't have another copy of the X chromosome, so he will produce the defective gene. He will be suffering from DMD disease, Duchenne muscular dystrophy. However, the gene was defective in this female as well, but she is having another normal copy of the X chromosome, so those genes which are not provided by this chromosome will be taken from this one. Okay, and the male has only one X chromosome. That's why even an autosomal recessive disease could become a dominant. Now this was a recessive, and recessive means that you must have two pair of homologous defective genes to appear the disease. Okay, but still you see that is having only one X chromosome which is defective, and still he is defective. Why? Because he is having only one X chromosome. Now he doesn't need two homologous chromosomes because he is only having one X chromosome. So only one defective X chromosome, when shifted or transferred from the mother, can lead him to Duchenne muscular dystrophy. I hope it's clear. So here are the result. If the normal mother is a carrier and the father is normal, so 25% of the healthy boy. Here is the healthy boy. Okay, here is the healthy boy. Now 25% of the chances with the disease. I told you he is the unfortunate one. Now 25% of the healthy girl, and here is she, and 25% of carrier girl without the disease. Okay, now she is the one who is carrying a carrier gene, but she will not be defective. Okay. Now let's reach this point again. X-linked recessive disease most often occurs in male because they only have one X chromosome. So they have one X chromosome. Okay, they have only one X chromosome. So all they need is one defective X. They don't need another copy. They only need one X chromosome to be effective. So they are at far more greater risk than females at being the defective ones, because they will have one X chromosome. So that's why it is really important to know whether father is effective or mother is effective. In this case, mother was defective. Okay, let's move to the another example. So let's suppose the father is having the disease and the mother is normal. So here XX like mother is normal, and XY father X chromosome is defective. Okay, this might be anyone. Okay, like suppose I'm talking about the G6PD deficiency. Okay, now what happens is this normal X combines with this one, it will form XX naught. Okay, and this X chromosome combined with Y will form XY. But this, this will be a normal guy, okay? When this X chromosome combined with the defective ones, it will form XX naught, okay? And lastly, when they both combine together, it will form XY normal. Now you can see here that, she is a carrier, okay, and a female. He is a male and healthy. She is again a female, but she is a carrier, and he is male and totally healthy. So what they will ask you in the exam is they are going to get you confused. They will say which is the disease or which is the disorder when you get 50% of the female carrier. Female will be 50%. Female will be 100% carrier. Female will be 100% carrier. You can see here the female is 100% carrier. Okay, and they can ask you which is the disease when the male is 0% diseased or carrier. So basically, they don't have a carrier. If they get one X chromosome, they will become diseased. Okay, so this could be the condition. When the father is having the disease, it will only go to her girls. Why? Because father is having XY. Okay, now his Y will go to his boys. Okay, always, and his X will go to his girls. Now the problem is lying into the X chromosome, so it will always go to the girls, not the boys, and the boys will be safe. Now here the situation is the same. You can see here the mother was healthy, so she did not have any abnormal chromosome. All she gave was normal X chromosome, and her girl became a carrier because of the father. And again, the girl became the carrier because of the father. And the male is having 0% of the disease. Okay, there you go. Now we will just read. Now, if the father has a disease and the mother is normal, the expected outcomes are 50% of the chances of having a healthy boy, okay, and 50% of the chances are having a girl without the disease who is a carrier. Now they are talking as a whole. Suppose if all of them, like there are 4 genders, okay, there are 4 genders, 2 male and 2 female. Okay, now what happens is all of them constitutes 100%. Okay, but 50-50, let's suppose 100 could be taken into 2 portions, like 50% here, 50% here. So here you go. So now we have fulfilled the above statement. So 50% of the 2 male will be normal, and 50% of 2 female will be carrier. Okay, like here, 50% of the chances of having a healthy boy, and 50% of the chances having a girl without the disease who's a carrier. Now you can see they can get you confused. This is only one disease. It's called an X-linked recessive disease where father is affected. Okay, where father is affected, but mother is normal. Now look how many statements can they get out of it. Like they can get out 50% of the chance having a healthy boy, like this. If they get you a total of 100%, in 100% of the children, 50% are male and 50% are normal, 50% are normal children, which are boys, of course, and 50% of the children are carrier, which are female. And if we just only talk about the female, then we will say 100% of the female is carrier. And if we only talk about the male, we will say 100% of the males are healthy, okay, or we will say 0% of the male are diseased. And here we can say 100% of the females are carrier, okay. And if we talk about the overall situation here, we can say 50%, regardless of the sex, then we can say 50% of the children are carrier and 50% of the children are healthy. And those 50 are the ones which are carrier are girls, and those which are healthy are boys. Or we can say 100% of the males are normal and 100% of female are carrier, okay, or 0% of the male are diseased. Now they can get you on any of those statements, okay, so you have to be very clear about it. Just draw this kind of squares, okay. Now lastly, in recessive inheritance, both matching genes must be abnormal to cause the disease, like here, okay. Suppose in female they are talking about. In female, both the chromosomes must be defective to get you the diseased, okay. But in male, it is only one X chromosome which is enough to make the diseased, because they are only having one. They cannot get a replacement of this X chromosome because they don't have another one. But the female does have another one, so they need two abnormal genes, and the male need one abnormal genes, okay. I'm just talking about the sex linked, okay, or X linked, okay, the recessive diseases. Now they are talking the disease does not occur on, or it is mild. In female, it might be mild in a carrier state. In carrier state, it might be mild, or it even does not occur, okay. Someone has who has one abnormal gene but not a symptom is called carrier, and carrier can pass abnormal genes to their children. Now this carrier can pass this gene to their children as well, okay. This was all. And now talking about this one, I didn't explain it much. I didn't elaborate it like the last one. So here also you can get many statements, like they can ask you that overall how many percent are the carriers, then you will say 25%, okay. If they ask you how many patients are defective, then you can say 25%, okay. And the defective one is male, okay. And if they ask you only about the males, you will say 50% defective and 50% are of the males are normal. 50% of the males are. Let me draw this for your clarity, okay. Suppose here is X, XX and XY. So suppose here is the problem lies in X chromosome, okay. Now we can XX, XY, okay. And here we can have XX normal, and here XY normal. Now here do you see, this is a carrier, this is a diseased one. Now if they ask you, they can ask you how many percent of the boys, what is the percentage of boys. So boys, you can say 50% are normal, 50% of them are normal, and 50% of them are diseased, if I'm only talking about the boys. If they talk about generally, then generally you can talking about all, then you can say 25% are normal, and 25% are diseased, and 25% are carrier, 25% are diseased, okay. And this, yeah, and 25% are healthy and 25% are healthy. So 50% are healthy, and 25% are defective, and 25%. If they only talk about the boys, then say 50% defective and 50% normal. Here you see normal and here you see defective. And if they only talk about the girls, then you say 50% normal carrier and 50% normal. And if they talk about overall, then you can say 25% defective here, 25% carrier, and 50% normal. I hope you got the point. Okay, that's it for now.